Hello, 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 everybody. Whoops, that was not supposed to play. As you can tell, I used the same intro as the same scene as yesterday. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I am here with my good friends. Let me undeafen them real quick. I'm here with my good friends. We got Apocalypse in here, and we also got Lambeau. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. A lot to talk about this stream, so I guess we could just start off with intros, starting with Lambeau.
I'm the old man in the group, highest power in the game, old man in the group. But yeah, it's been an interesting morning. There's a lot of fun here today.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I mean, our pod got a little bit outshined by Redline and and Bunny's pod, but it's okay. Apo, how you doing, man?
Morning, team. Yeah, doing good. I'm actually just looking forward. I just woke up, so I'm looking forward to read line.
Yeah,
Farewell,
I
Bunny.
didn't get to watch it either, but I was because we were literally getting ready for the pod, and I was like, hey, because I knew Lambo was watching. I'm like, could you give me the spark notes? And then I looked at all the notes. I'm like, yo, this pod is wild, bro. So I guess that's the first thing that we can get into, if we get into topics, is the podcast impressions, I guess. And I guess we could start with Lambo because you said you're going to give a little bit of a recap of everything.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me to kind of recap it for you in the 15 minutes that we normally get together before the podcast starts. So I was sitting here taking notes the entire time. I'm going to paraphrase some of this. It's not word for word, but I kind of have to. I don't want you to get demonetized on your stream. So overall, let me just say, Bunny, I wish you the best at whatever you do. I'm sure you'll be successful in whatever you do moving forward. It was a pleasure fighting against you, and I was able to fight against you. You've been a straight shooter. I don't recall any time that you've ever outright lied to anybody, and I respect the hell out of that. Even though you may have come across as toxic at times, I knew that it just in the way you have fun. Much respect for the kingdom you built, much respect for 254. That said, Bunny went the hell off. Things like he felt that stupid announcement from HMB and SW, from Chisgo and Chad and the other blank tards impacted that KVK greatly. He didn't know if they would win if that announcement was delayed, but he had asked that they not make that announcement before the KVK. And they still did, and that caused a huge shitstorm in the background. People messaging him daily, wondering what the future of the kingdom was going to look like. R4s that were in question. I mean, just a lot of people that were questioning what was going to happen, and you don't need that going into a big KVK.
For sure,
he had a very valid point there. He had issues with HMB and SW. They could barely get a ball together in day 2 of Kingsland. They had one R4 online. He said, and that impacted their players, right? Their players would log on. They would see one R4 online. They saw all their shit burning, and then they just log off. Probably I asked the question, and they guesstimated that probably about 50% of the people that went to 2605 were on the chopping block in 254 had they stayed. So I guess that begs the question, did they really go all out in that KVK then? If half of those people would have been on the chopping block, if they stayed in 254, that announcement then seemed to make more of an impact than others led to believe that it did.
Damn, yeah.
I'll let you guys react to that. Then I got some other stuff here.
Yeah, I guess we could go around. Let's start off with Beast because you just came into the pod. I guess the whole context is: do you think that the migration out message or the jumper or the group message that was released specifically from the 2605, like Chisco and them, do you think that impacted their KVK? Or I guess we'll never know the back end of things. I know Bunny and Redline really went over their side of things. I don't know if Chisco and them will ever go through their side of things. But I guess my question is, if you were in that kingdom and then you learned that two alliances, like two big alliances in your kingdom, is going to migrate out or planning to migrate out after your KVK, do you think that there would be like that would affect your KVK performance or like affect the kingdom's performance as a whole?
Um, hey guys, everyone. First of all, sorry that I was late. Um, Definitely, yeah. I mean, that have an impact on like the morale of the people, and
Mm-hmm.
if you hear something like that, of course that have an impact. People will think, okay, do I contribute now? Do I not? Since the kingdom is gonna die, do I really want to participate for that or not? Um, I get the message behind that they was like, okay, we plan to migrate HMB and SW out and starting a new kingdom. And for that, there is time needed for sure, 100%. I totally understand that. But if you have a look on the players' side, that was just a punch in the face, to be honest. Um, since we all know they was having for 6, 7, 8 months no KVK, and then they have finally their KVK. They was so hyped. They're having the KVK. The allies from 1254 did a really good job with holding these with making this fort wall. What we saw. And also the fighting in Zone 6 was very intense from both sides. So I expected then even more in the Kingsland, but yeah, well, with a message overall that was just having a big impact, and people was more like, yeah, I will not contribute anymore since I need to save resources, I need to save speed ups for the migration and for the future KVK, and for what should I use that in a kingdom which is gonna die after the KVK.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about you could have write it differently, in my opinion. And I mean that was the last KVK from 1254. I'm very sad about it. I talked about that also in my live stream. You will never have the same 1254 ever again. It's gone
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
A lot of people might retired. A lot of big names like Bunny, Redline, I guess, is still saying that he's retiring. Like a
Not
lot of
anymore.
people from, huh?
Not anymore. Redline
Not
says
anymore.
he wants to go out with a bang, so he's probably gonna go elsewhere.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. But okay. Other big names said they're gonna retire. And I was expecting then even more as respect to the family of 1254, that the people saying, okay, I give everything what I have now. Let's make the last KVK from 1254, finishing it with a big explosion, with showing everyone what we was about before having this months of not able to participate in the KVK. I was expecting something like that. That we're having like 1 week fighting Kingsland. I was so hyped for that. And then to see after this first day of this participation, it was like 80% less activity. And it's just sad to see since 1254 have a long journey. There is a lot of past, a lot of story behind that kingdom. A lot of people coming from that kingdom, and a lot of people are well known in this kingdom. And to see then a last KVK like this, it's like, I don't know, they didn't deserve something like that. And I agree on like that the message should have not been needed like that. And you could have, I don't know, write it differently in a more sensitive way, and not basically saying that the kingdom gonna die after the KVK. And to say, I don't know, not to force people to not contribute in the KVK anymore.
All right, Apo, it's your turn, sir.
Thank you, team.
What are you thinking?
Thank you very much. I've been waiting for this for maybe more than a week, and I just want to say something here. First of all, at the last day of of Kingsland for 1254 with the last KVK they had, I made a Facebook post and I wrote in words. Just want to say, well done, 1846. Really showed some great dominance in Kingsland. 1365, also great work holding 1254. And I made a note 1254. I always thought the mail about migration came early, and this has consequences. Just go came to my Facebook post and said the migration mail has literally nothing to do with the outcome. Don't undermine your victory with that kind of nonsense. He thought that I am from the winning kingdom. Anyway, here's Chisgo coming to me, telling me that, this is nothing, has nothing to do with the outcome, everything. And, I did sleep in, it was early, the podcast, but listening and hearing what Lambeau wrote and said, it's clearly had an impact. And for him to say it had no impact, he really actually, for me, I don't know, but the way I say is, you gotta own it up. You can't be in a big kingdom like that. You can be one of the biggest YouTubers for the game and go send the mail before KVK or mid KVK saying you're going to migrate. Mate, cheer up. It's boom boom time. Take it on the chin and say you fucked up and move on. That's how I see it. But from Bunny, I really can't wait to watch the farewell. I'm a Kiwi guy. I live next door to Bunny. Bunny's an Aussie guy. So it's pretty lost to see, someone like him leave. But, again and again, the whole kingdom has impact on the leadership as much as the leadership has impact on the kingdom. And this is what people don't realize. There is only so much they can do. That's how I see it.
Well said.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how I see it myself.
A chat saying that mail ruined the morale of a lot of players, and I think
Oh,
that's,
absolutely, bro.
That's
Put
definitely
yourself
a point.
in the shoes,
yeah.
bro. Put yourself in the shoes. I get a mail from Fo. This is put yourself in people's shoes. Imagine 2489. We get a mail from Fo at the beginning of KVK or from Arvix. Let's just make it that way. And Arvix saying, "I'm leaving. We're leaving." Do you think we're gonna feel awesome? We're gonna want to fight? Everybody gonna show anxiety. Everybody has anxiety. Has his own anxiety to deal with. So yeah, pretty sad, man.
If I can compare that, what we just basically all have agreed on, we all know that 2338 have migrated into 1875. And you know when the mail was coming out? After the KVK. And the funny thing is, R75 is a whole full alliance, 12 billion power, with I guess 90% of 38 players in there. So you cannot say you don't have enough time after the KVK with not migrating, because you literally see from other kingdoms that this is possible. The example what I said now about 2338 that clearly have worked out, that you make a mail after the KVK saying, okay, what are the future plans now? You can join that or not. And when the things got started, but making a mail like this in the mid of a KVK, of course, have an impact. So I don't get the point when people have said it don't have an impact. It clearly have an impact for sure. For example, if you want to compare that with your real life, if you work in a company and your chef is saying, okay, I'm gonna kick you out, but you need to work the rest of the month, are you still working the same? No, you reducing it. You're not working anymore with 100%. It's clearly because why should you give everything what you have for a company which is kicking you out? That's the same with Rise of Kingdoms here. Leadership is basically the chef, and they saying this gonna happen after the KVK, but let's still do our best for the kingdom. Why should I give my best for the kingdom when I clearly know that the kingdom gonna die? That makes no sense. You can have your plans. That's totally fine if you have plans like this. Totally understandable. But don't make a mail like this and expect that the people is still fighting the same, because that's clearly not gonna happen.
Alrighty. So, do you have anything else to? I guess that bled into our. Not really.
So I mean, with regard to the email itself, this is a direct quote from Bunny referencing the email. The people The people behind that are incredibly malicious or incredibly fucking stupid. And then he goes on to say, Chisgul, Chad, peace. You all fucking suck. So clearly there are some issues there, and he feels that email had a huge impact on the performance in that kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, it wasn't only a mail too, right? Like, I think there was a video released before the pass opened, right?
Are you serious?
They started recruiting as soon as that mail went out. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
Oh my fuck. That's a fucking joke.
like before Kingsland opened was kind of like what I was thinking. Like, I thought that was a bit weird. You know what I mean? Like, it was, you know, I don't want to be wrong about this, but let me see. See, yeah, like Smash Squad, migrating was before Kingsland opened, so like it's just like the visuals are really bad. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not exactly sure the intent, but at least the perception of it was like, in my opinion, really bad. Because yeah, like especially if you're in the middle of a Kingsland and then you know that, hey, like, you know, people are leaving, or like the I guess the kingdom is going to be shaken up. It does have an impact on morale, but I'm not exactly too sure. I don't think I'll ever know exactly what the impact will be unless I'm in the kingdom. But if we take what Bunny said to heart, then they definitely had like a profound impact with their performance. And it sucks because that KVK was a really good KVK. Like, it was like 1254, 1365, 1846 are all like well-respected kingdoms, and this is the first time I was spectating KVK, and the main topic wasn't, oh, like this KVK is really cool, I wonder who's gonna win, I wonder, like, it wasn't anything about the KVK itself, but it was about the kingdoms, like 1254, and like how they're splitting up and all that kind of stuff. And I felt like that was the biggest shame, was that there was no focus on the KVK. It felt it was more so just all about the breakup. So
Yeah,
and how everyone's retiring and all that kind of stuff. But
it took the focus off of the fighters who were there, who were giving it their all. It took the focus off of 365 and 846 and the insane job that they did, and it made it all about this migration and this email. And it is a shame. You absolutely hit the nail on the head there.
But to be fair, I do know that there, like, people in 1254 has been quitting even before that whole mail was released. Like, 1254 was not put in a bad, like, it's kind of like the nail in the coffin, you might say. Like, some people might say, like, oh, that was a nail in the coffin, or that's what put it to light. But I do know that there was, like, their off season, in my opinion, is what killed, like, that kingdom. Like, their consistent no match founds, their all that kind of stuff. Because I remember, I think we talked about this at previous podcasts, they were supposed to be in the KVK that I was in, the Orleans KVK. And then every single kingdom in that KVK, like, they were like, oh yeah, we're ready to fight against Self-D4, we're ready to do this and that. But then Lilith was like, oh, no match found. And then, you know, they didn't, like, literally people they had this thing called a rockation, where they told their players they can't play throughout the whole week matchmaking was happening. So, like, they were literally, like, not collecting stuff, not using AP, not training troops, not talking in game chat, all that kind of stuff to lower their quote-unquote matchmaking, just for the chance to play in a KVK, because they wanted to be in a KVK that badly. And by the time their KVK already happened, I think it was already too late. I don't know. So
I'm
but
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna have to pop in here. I'm sorry. It's just because I'm reading in the chat here. The mail was no different than TR changing their name to Rest in Peace if the whole alliance quitting. And then exactly after, Lily's killed the kingdom and the kingdom morale, no SAW. Guys, I'm sorry. There is a huge part of what happened has consequences with the mail that came out.
The mail
there
was
is
no different than TR
other
changing their theme
things
to
that
RIP as if the
contributed
whole
to that.
alliance was quitting.
But don't stand here and tell me that the mail did not help. It did not contribute to that. And anybody say that, you are just being silly. Because if you were that kingdom and you were part of that project, and then you found that mail on the morning before your Kingsland, it would be different. Here is Justin. I was just talking about you. Here we go. Most members didn't know SWHMB were leaving. People on Facebook know about it before I did. Here you go.
Yo, and
Here you go.
Thunder Light Years or Thuggy, thank you for the $5, and Justin, thank you for the 50. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how that's
love
the
you,
case, and it feels like it was so broadcasted, and I think that's
Most
the
members
biggest
didn't
thing.
know
Right?
SWHMB were leaving. People on Facebook knew about it
I mean,
before I did.
If I can say something,
Crazy.
like, how is the I mean, I of course I agree on the point that the match not founding stuff, what happens over months, for sure have make people quit the game, leave the kingdom, go AFK, whatever. But I mean, we saw the activity from 1254 in the KVK before Kingsland. We saw it, and that was not a big bad activity. They was fighting 1365 and 1846 constantly for 7 days or something in Zone 6. So there was definitely activity. And also the first day in Kingsland was definitely activity. They had pushed back 1365 at sometimes. But the difference went from day 1 to day 2 is like insane. You saw like 100% of activity, and then you only saw 20% activity. There was no garrison, there was no field, basically, just a few people outside, and there was like no really murder ball. From that, you cannot count that as a murder ball what you saw on day 2 compared to day 1. And the may, of course, have an impact. I would also feel like, why should I give everything what I have now for a kingdom when it's gonna die so or so? I just gonna, like, set it up and that's it. Because if leadership...
I'm sorry. Let's be clear here. I don't think 254 is going to die.
No,
Bunny made it clear in the podcast with Red that before he left, because he's done, okay. But before he left, he worked with the team there to develop a plan for that kingdom moving forward. They're probably going to drop to a 2, maybe 2.5, 3 alliance kingdom. It's not going to be the high AC that it was before, but there is a plan in place. I think 254 will continue. They're not going to die.
Okay, then we're not going to die, but 1254 will not be the same kingdom anymore.
They're not going to be the Super Imperium, and that's going to be the tough part, because
So if they're not going to die or whatever now happens with that kingdom, it's still shit for the player side if the leadership is saying that the kingdom, that SW and HMB gonna migrate out, and there's a project, and there was also a video on YouTube, and the whole situation was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's I mean, you could have made it also after the KVK. You have like enough time for that. Like I said, like I mentioned before, 2338 have also migrated into 1875, and it have worked out. There's now a full alliance from 2338 in 1875, and they announced that after the KVK. So everyone gave everything for 2338 because it was the kingdom what we have fought for, and I don't know, to bring out a mail like this and then saying, oh yeah, we need more time. You don't need more time. It's just like a shit move, in my opinion. Making a mail and a video at the time where before Kingsland opened, what the fuck? Like, you clearly have enough time after the KVK is over, like for sure. And I mean, with Shisku on your side, also announcing that stuff, he's like the biggest YouTuber when it comes to Rise of Kingdoms, or one of the biggest. Like, how can you say you don't have enough time? Like, a lot of people are gonna know that, and I don't know. I don't get that reason that there's not enough time for that. Like, clearly not. It was just a shit move, in my opinion.
there was some speculation that they they wanted to kind of get people in so that they could qualify for OL or all that kind of stuff. Or like, I'm not exactly too sure what would happen, but I think just to put a bowl, because we could go on in this forever and we have other topics, but I want to just, I guess the thought process overall was the male in the video definitely had an impact in the KVK. Is that like, you guys agree? Like it had an impact, but it wasn't the only thing that went into. It's kind of like the nail in the coffin. You know what I mean? Rather than it being, because I see a lot of people saying that that's the sole reason that 1254 fell apart.
It was a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm.
There's
of
definitely
events.
other reasons and other events that happened, but you could say that contributed to what happened. Is that correct? Like, do you guys feel the same way, or?
It was definitely a contributing factor. It wasn't the sole reason, correct?
Alrighty.
I mean, there was probably a lot of event what happens, what we don't know about. Starting with not match founding for months, when you know, like COD coming out and Cisco making a lot of stuff for that, maybe having also an impact, and people was like, okay, he's like making content for that, so not 1254 is not finding a match. That looks very weird. I mean, Lambeau also have talked about that. And I also think it's look kind of weird, you know, that all that shit happens exactly in the time with COD coming out. But however, then also now the mail, the video, and maybe also other stuff would happen intern. It looks like there was some problems from the messages and from the podcast. It looks like to me that there was some internal issues also, which most people don't know, and we can just speculate that now. But all what happens started, in my opinion, probably with match not founding, and you see that people, you know, leaving 1254 and because they don't find a match, and then probably all other stuff happened.
All right, well, we could keep talking about 1254 all day, but I wanted to kind of bring this up where, like, super Imperiums, I feel like, or Imperiums in general, have been kind of falling left, like, faster than before. Do you think so? Like, I feel like there's this sudden shift where Imperium kingdoms are, or like these like four alliance Imperium kingdoms are now not really the meta, where for 1254's case, they were off cycle. They were like they couldn't find any matches, and then from there their player base just kind of got like, you know, people quit. People, like, if you can't play the game, because the KVK is kind of like that whole gameplay loop that people play for. If you can't do that, then why should you play the game? And that's a lot of, I would say, that's what I've heard is the reason why a lot of people quit. Like, what do you think of the Imperium kingdoms now? Like, what is the future of big Imperiums or Imperium in general? Do you think it's gonna be, because everyone's like quote unquote trying to do this 1960 model, right? Like, is it gonna be 2 alliance kingdoms with stacked full of players? Like, what do you think the Imperium? What is the future of Imperiums? And I think we could start off with Apo being in one of those big Imperium kingdoms. So let's start off with you, sir.
Boom boom team. For me, I think I played in every type of kingdom. I played in 4 alliance kingdom. I played in 1 alliance kingdom. Played in 2 alliance kingdom before. And to be honest, guys, I'm not saying that because I'm here, but this is one of the best I've played in. Simple as it for me from that side. It's very organized. You need a lot of factors to have a successful kingdom, and 24/8 does have most of the factors to make a great kingdom. On the other side, who do you think the next Imperium to fall?
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna say it right now, and I know some people are not gonna like it, but it's the truth. When we stand back and look at the 2 biggest, who would be the 2 biggest kingdom that are gonna struggle with the new changing into KVK and how many players can come into KVK, the one that pops into my head, the first one is 1875 and T93. They are very 2 fat big kingdoms, and as we all know, Lilith want to reduce the lag and all of that. So they thought, fuck, let's break all the Imperium kingdoms, the super Imperium kingdoms. Let's make them smaller, and we can see it already happening. Here it is, 1254. Chessgold took his team, and where did they go? 2605. What they creating? To Alliance Kingdom. T93 in 1875. 1307 also. They are pretty big. But I don't know how this will affect them, because it's gonna happen if Lily's made the change and there's only 300 players that can come into KVK or something like that.
Yeah.
But how the hell are you gonna do that with this team? They have so many players in the kingdom.
Wait, could we go over this quote unquote this change that was announced, like just for context in case people don't know? Because I'm kind of in the dark with it as well.
Yeah.
So
what happened? There was one mail that came out that highlighted that the game creators or the developers are looking forward to reduce lags and things like that in the game in a different method, not by making the game better, but reducing the people joining KVK. So if you, for example, in a Super Imperium Kingdom, got matched with a normal Imperium Kingdom, for example, if that normal Imperium Kingdom has 500 players in total, T93 can only take, for example, T93 can only take 500 players. You only can register a certain amount of players into KVK, so they are controlling the numbers. So this is what Lily's going to do. Yeah.
So,
right, and they didn't say 300, they didn't say 500, they didn't say 1,000.
No, they didn't. No,
they just said they just said they're going to potentially look at limiting the number of players kingdoms can take into a KVK. Well, and the reason they gave is to make KVKs more competitive, because people, these woke fucking snowflakes, are crying and whining and bitching and moaning because they can't build a kingdom like that, and they want fair competition. Well, look at the leadership in your kingdom then, and they need to take a look inwards rather than crying and ruining everyone else's fun.
And I read chat real quick. Sorry, that's another point I want to bring up is 1254 is hard for them to find a match, and then like there's like a certain echelon of kingdoms, right, that are top tier, and then like the top four, in my opinion, where they're like, there was 1254, there was, this is not in order, 1365, 1093. You could put 1960 in there that could fight with them. Now that one of those kingdoms are gone, like, are those three big kingdoms gonna have to fight each other over and over and over again? Like, who else are they gonna fight? And I think it's tough when one of those opponents like falls apart, because like it's hard to replace. Like, I guess 2489, you guys are doing really, really well against 1960, so like you guys could probably go up there too. And then it's not, you guys aren't even as sharp, right? Like I saw that Fa said that he's gonna, he's counting who's buying the Mountain Warfares, and then whoever didn't buy that, and then didn't hit their KVK goals and all that kind of stuff. So like you guys have room to improve as well. So, but it's just more so like, are there enough kingdoms in the works to replace these Imperium kingdoms falling apart? Because if not, then the high-end competitive aspect of this game, I don't know what the future holds for it. You know what I mean?
But look at this KVK, Ploto, for example. We taken on 1960. Here is an example. The KVK is small. It's 1v1, and it's actually working. I don't see a lot of lag. I'm being honest. We don't have a lot. You notice if I went live for the first time, class opening, I did not have lag. The thing's better. We are actually fighting. We are competing. The KVK is good. It's positive. There's a lot of things that it's good. I know it's past fight. For some people, this is not how it works. But with all the due respect to them, I want to see them play against 1960 and show me what they can do. But I think from my side, I think our team is doing absolutely fantastic. Everybody coming together. People staying online for crazy amount of hours. Everybody's coming together for that one, and I think we're doing so far. We, for the 5th day, holding past 6 from 1960. Past 4, past 6, isn't it? I can't remember.
Past 6
it is.
Yeah.
And we're able to defend, and this is huge.
Yeah, 1034 did get a big migration in, so yeah. I mean, we'll have to see what the future holds. It's just that 1254, it was like in that upper echelon. Hopefully there'll be other kingdoms that could kind of promote themselves up there as well. And I guess we could get Beast's take. What do you think of the future of Imperiums?
Well, they're gonna die for sure. It's I don't know. It's the whole move is like, I can understand that you want to reduce the lags and all that stuff, but why do you need to take away a thing from the game what makes it game? I mean, these super big Imperium kingdoms have always got a lot of attention on YouTube and have showed people what the game could be if you have no lags. For example, I don't know if you have watched my stream, guys, the last time. When I have streamed these big KVKs, I was able to stream full graphics, everything on highest, without simple graphics, and I was having no lags. And where you can see that is it possible. The thing is just that most people cannot have just a very good PC. Most people play on an iPad or a phone where you don't have the capacity. So, I mean, it is a mobile game, and these super big Imperiums are not in the game since 1 year or a couple of months. They're in there already basically since the beginning of the game. And these lags and FPS drops are well known over years now. And to see then a move like that they just saying, okay, we don't want to make the servers better, to make the lags less and the FPS drops less. So what could we do then in another way to make the people happy without having the lags? So the only thing then was, we need to reduce these super big Imperiums and making just a couple of more high AC kingdoms, basically, with the system what 60GG have, basically. And there was when these made like limited players can go in the KVK. These end rewards, which having also only, I don't know, 300 people access to. All these updates, mails, what got sent out, just have moved that with super big Imperium's gonna die in the future. And I don't know, it's like sad to see that the devs do away like this. I would really have loved that they would have tried to find another way. But I don't know. Maybe I'm very alone with that opinion, but I mean,
we'll definitely have to see. Yeah, because it's, I mean, well, let's be real. Lola said that they're gonna do the armament reroll system for like 5 months now, and they didn't make that change. Hopefully, they won't make this KVK thingy change, because it's gonna change the landscape of the game for sure, right? So
that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Lilith. You know, they're gonna give them a lot of less work to do for the game. Like, they just bring in a system where you have, like, let's say 500 people gonna be able to join the KVK instead of a full kingdom. Like, what shit move is that? Like, that is just, okay, they just need to make a little bit in the programming and that's it. But working on the lag and the FPS drops and making the server capacity better, it's like a lot of tons of work for sure. And I have big respect to the dev for what they're doing. But I am like, these super big Imperiums gives a lot of attention to the game, brings then also a lot of money to Lilith. So normally they should look for a way to improve the server capacity, to make the lags less, because, like, in my opinion, these super big Imperiums gonna bring them a lot of money, because people gonna buy these crystal bundles to improve in these super big Imperium kingdoms, in my opinion. And I don't know, to reduce that and making like more AC kingdoms with that move, I don't like to see. But I think we're gonna see that 2 alliance system in the future. What 60GG is already doing, what 2489 is doing now. Then 2605 is also doing that. I guess Kingdom where Shisku is now in. 2377, for example, is also doing that. With GV77. So a lot of kingdoms already switching the style of how they leading the kingdom. Yeah, it's yeah, we're gonna see.
Alrighty.
It all makes me very happy to play in a low seed kingdom.
Hey, you're CC'd now, though, right? You're not DC'd anymore.
Yeah, we're CC now.
Wow.
But last KVK, I got Otric rewards on 5 accounts. So hey.
Alrighty, there you go. Any final? Yeah, anyone want to say anything about this topic before we move on, or?
I'm good.
You good? Alrighty. So,
Yeah.
I guess the next topic would be talking about these two big Imperium KVKs as we're talking about the state of Imperiums. Have you guys been watching the 960? I mean, Oppo's in it. 2489 KVK. I know Lambeau. I mean, all four of us has been streaming this KVK in one way, shape, or form. So I guess let's what do you think of the combatants in this KVK? I guess we could start off with Lambeau for 20. We're going to be talking about 1960, 2489, and then we'll shift over to the 1093, 1307 KVK at the end. So
damn. Okay. 2489, 1960. That, I mean, they've been fighting at that pass. I don't know if they're still fighting at that.
Yeah,
pass
they're literally still fighting right now. Yeah,
they've been fighting at that pass for what? We're going on 4 days now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 1960 is fantastic. We all know that. 2489 is an up and coming kingdom, and they're proving it right now. They have held this pass, and it's relatively easy to hold a pass, but not necessarily against 1960. I mean, 1960's been double rallying the pass. They've been buffing the rallies with marches behind the rallies. They've been doing everything right, but so is 2489. It looks like they're kicking low marches out of the pass. They're not letting it get to that 100 march max. They're making sure that they have backup garrisons in place. It's been phenomenal to watch, but at the same time, it's been kind of boring to watch, right?
I know passes. I feel for Apple low key because I don't know about you guys, but fighting behind or at a pass is just so sleeper to me. I don't know, you know what I mean? But yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I literally not fighting at the pass because I cannot. It's like so boring. Most of the time, it's like if you have like 960 and 2489, both same power, both same activity, and mostly maybe you do like what we saw. They're sitting both most of the time behind the pass and doing garrison ready stuff. I hate this. I cannot do that.
Yeah. So let's go to you then, Beast. What do you think of this KVK so far? 1960, 2489. Any impressions of the KDs, of the fights going on, etc., etc.?
I love to spectate this KVK, especially when the Zone 5 have opened and there was the open field fighting and with the flags and all that stuff. Oh man, I have loved to watch that fighting. And it's nice to see that 2489 is doing such a great job. And, we all know people have migrated just there. It's like kind of a fresh new leadership with people from different kingdoms coming together. But I love to see that they're doing such a good job already and showing that they definitely are a kingdom which people should not underestimate. And we see they are kind of even against 960. We will see in the Kingsland where we're gonna have the next open field fight. Maybe we're gonna see where 2489 win that. Because I think we cannot clearly say now who's better, since pass fighting is always it's always less activity and less open field fighting. In Zone 5, we saw at some point 960 crush the line and have pushed 2489 back. So I'm really curious about the Kingsland fight between these two kingdoms. And so far, I really enjoy that KVK, and both sides are doing a very great job. And keep it up, guys.
Thank you for the 5, Lambeau. Oh my gosh. Greatly appreciate, brother. Yeah, I guess Apple. I have a different question for you.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the Warriors Unbound KVK? Like, what's your
Yeah.
impressions? Give us kind of like an overview because we've never played it. This is my first time spectating it. Like, what do you think about it?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's one of the best KVKs ever, and I'll tell you simply why.
Okay. Yeah.
I really, really like the idea of the artifact. Why? Especially for someone as a middle spinner or a low spinner that don't have 5 marches or don't have all the commanders to make the best marches he can. This game mode gives you the option to change any commander to your preferred type troop. It's really good. Like I personally have Zugi as an infantry commander. Mate, I'm having the best time of my life, and I hope we always play this KVK because I don't know what I'm gonna do with Zugi after I don't use him as an infantry commander. I'm really loving using the archer commanders as an infantry commanders. They bring in a lot of DPS, they bring in a lot of excitement. And the thing about it, guys, it's not just the same thing again and again. Every rally is changing, every garrison is changing, everybody's testing. It brings a lot of excitement. There is a lot of testing that happening. Like you see 1960, they're using a lot of different types of commanders. Everybody's testing it. I think it's pretty fun. The only problem with this KVK is the fighting ways. Like if you watch, we now holding pass 6.
Yeah.
We actually can't do anything else. We have to hold that pass because this is our entry to Kingsland.
Yeah.
There's no joke. So
yeah,
you lose that pass, it's big trouble. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
But and the other thing I've noticed, bro, if you zoom in on the terrain of that KVK,
the terrain,
it's absolutely It's bro. If you zoom in on our KVK, the mountains and everything is so many. There's only certain way you can build flags. They frame that very well.
There's a lot of choke points.
Yeah, there's a lot of chokes. I like your pass 5 because the Lucerne was literally like a loading bar. You know what I mean? So when you see the flags below Lucerne, it's like, oh, they got this side's winning the territory war. You know what I mean? Like it's like literally.
Guys, there's something I want to talk about that I actually don't hear anybody mentioning, and it is quite a serious thing. But hear me out. Guys, the positioning on the map could play a huge factor in your open field success. And I was talking about it in my stream. Guys, when you play on the dot style and you zoom out,
and then the portraits are always up.
Exactly, Ploto. If you are the top kingdom and you're fighting down, you have a huge advantage. And guys, I'm sorry, but you could see it clearly. Even in my I'm a good example. I'm not as strong as 1960 players. I'm a nothing. But I am able to get positive reports when I am fighting with my troops from the top because I can see the dots. It's a serious problem, and Lily's got to do something about it. Always the top kingdom in the top of the screen will have better open field results than the kingdom on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
and we can see it.
I'm gonna show the stream real quick. So when you're fighting in dot mode, you cannot see really you literally can't even see like the portrait covers if like for example if this level 25 barb was an opponent, I would not be able to see or like select this opponent because I can't see him. But if you're fighting for example in this mode, it's way easier to see. But if you're fighting down, it's way easier for
you see your picture is hiding.
Yeah,
you can't see who you're attacking. You see, this is a big problem, team. Really big problem.
Yeah, I remember that happened to me in the KPK too. I'm like, why can I not see anybody right now?
Exactly. Exactly. And
but,
it's just the reality. If you're on the top of the map, there's a bit of advantage.
Fair. Okay. And I guess what's your opinion? What's your opinion with
I really like the
KVK.
I really think it's cool. It gives you it gets all the commanders that sitting accumulating dust back on the open field having fun. You get to test a lot of things. You can make infantry marches super DPS. I think it's fun.
Alrighty.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty fun. I don't know how. Oh, how's the fort system? Like, how you can't back fort or anything like that?
Yes. So the fort system in that KVK, it's very good. Why? You only can drop forts around holy sites or passes, and you must touch them. So when you drop the fort, it has to touch them. So it's actually not easy to break into enemy, zones and drop forts everywhere and run. No, you don't have to waste so many flags covering the territory.
True.
And this is a huge part. So normally we run out of resources and crystals are tight. But in that KVK, you actually don't need to build that many flags to cover the territory, which is another advantage, because once you cover the holy sites and the passes, there is no fort can be dropped.
Yeah.
So
there's no backboarding or anything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's so funny because when I was watching, well, this is a transition to the 1093 1307 KVK. When I was watching them, they're like, oh, why don't they just back for it? Well, in this KVK game mode, you actually are not allowed to. And I guess for the 1307 1093 KVK, I actually haven't looked at this for a while, but it does look like 1093 was able to break and crack the 1307 zone. So I guess we could go.
I can't believe that, guys. Like, I played against 1307. Fuck. T93 are incredible.
So I guess
too many, mate.
Yeah, we could start with you, Apo, then. Like, what do you think of this KVK? Like, have you been looking at it at all? I guess you've been busy, right? So, or like, what's your impressions?
And I actually played against 1307. So I am someone that played against this team, and I know what they are like, and I remember their activity. And to see how they go overwhelmed by T93 is fucking shocking. Just being honest. It is really shocking. I really expected a hell of a war. But again, I wouldn't call off, but I don't know. It's just not possible. They are really overwhelmingly strong. But the question here comes again, what we spoke about at the beginning of stream. They're not so strong only because they have high spenders. They have so many players in the kingdom. It's not fair, when you compete with them, they have 4 or 5 full alliances team, literally of full of players. It's really tough.
Yeah, I remember chat was saying like they like swarm of ants. Whenever you see them on the open field, they're just like everywhere. So I guess we could
some friends play there, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, I guess we could go over to Beast. Because I want to save Lambeau for last. I'm sure he has some things to say.
I enjoy that.
So Beast, what do you think of this KVK?
How do I say that without hurting someone? So big respect, first of all, to 1093. They have very, very good organization. That's, I guess, the first time I'm really watching 1093 fighting. And I clearly need to say, I didn't saw really anyone single chasing kill in 1093 there. I always saw when people was going without the murder ball for fighting, at least there was like 2, 3, 4 people with marchers.
Got it.
So it was always like a little murder ball.
Yeah.
So
no solo people. Got it.
Yeah. So there's backup, like if something happening. And holy shit, man, I really love this organization, and I saw also a couple of reports, and like it was 10-1, 5-1, like so much good reports there, and like holy shit, now I understand why everyone is saying that 1093 is maybe the best organized kingdom in the game. It's holy shit, man. Because like if you have really the people, the single person people who would normally chasing for kills, but they're not chasing alone the kills, that's already big W. Because normally in every KVK you see that, oh, there's a guy getting swarmed, oh, he chased alone the kids, blah blah blah. Always. We all know these kind of people. But if you are able to have not this happening, big W. 1307, I'm like kind of confused. So big respect to SN, the main alliance from 1307. They did everything what was possible, but 1093 was just too much for them.
Is SN the main alliance? I thought it was AVG.
I mean, for they was having most power, so I was assuming like they was having.
Okay.
So
AFG
they
main
did
alliance,
everything what they
sure.
was having, you know. And the other two, I'm like kind of confused. Like overall, it's like I mean, 1307 is like what, top 3, top 4 by power in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And for their power level, to be fair, I don't feel like that they are this kind of top kingdom. Because like I assume when you have this amount of power, this amount of people, that there's also then the activity. Like 1093 have, like 1365 have, like 1254 was having before Kingsland. Like who had like 1960, like 2489. You know, all these super big Imperiums in the top 10, like always having like 100, 200 marches, 300 marches on the field, minimum. And when I was watching 1307, I was like, I don't feel like they are this big for compared to what power they have. I don't know if there is maybe death rage in the kingdom or whatever, because that's also like the first time I'm watching them. But people said also that it's not the first time that they fighting like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that is very, very different than compared to the other ones. And whatever the reason now for that is, but if you have this amount of power and you are clearly one of the top 10 kingdoms in the game, but you don't have the field fighting to hold up literally forts at the pass against the other kingdom, which have basically less power. Doesn't matter if it's now 1093, the maybe most organized kingdom in the game, but you should still be able to hold your forts. I mean, holding forts is like the easiest garrison what you have in the game, right?
Even holding the pass, right? Like, I don't know if they ever had the pass. Did they have the pass at all? Like, I didn't.
No, never.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's tough then.
But so, you know, by holding the force, like we have 2 million troops capacity in there. It should be. I mean, we saw it from SN that they was clearly holding over time their fort, but they lost it now because of the territory what coming from behind, attacking their flags. And to see that 1307 is not able to hold their forts or not able to hold the territory at the pass, when they should be, like, I don't feel like they are that big then. You know, it's like maybe a normal Imperium or like a very high A seed at this point, but not. But 1307 is right now, in my opinion, not one of the top 10 kingdoms from what I saw right now.
Damn. Okay. Not top 10.
Whoa.
That's crazy. I guess that could be another podcast topic for another time. Top 10 kingdoms. What do you think?
I'm sorry, but you know, I always say what I'm feeling, and from what I saw, it's clearly not a top 10 for me.
Okay. Lambeau, before you go, I want to play a clip from the last podcast that I hosted.
Oh, here we go.
Because that was actually 1307's KVK versus 1079. And
I was 1 KVK early on that, wasn't I?
You were 1 KVK early on that. But no, it's not actually that. It's actually after they won the KVK, and you were saying that you're wrong. So I'm gonna share it on Discord. I'm also gonna share it to the stream. Let me see. You guys see it?
There's a delay. I don't see anything yet.
Like, it's I have it on Discord. Like, I streamed it. I'm streaming on Discord, so you can watch it live.
See it.
Okay, let's see. There you go. So, I guess, like, what happened here? Like, wait, I want to go to Lambeau's part.
Players there that fight when it's beneficial to them.
I remember that.
Don't fight when it's
and when our time when he said, I apologize.
And a lot of players there that fight when it's beneficial to them and don't fight when it's not. I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. My opinion.
So I guess my follow-up question.
I was wrong
to all
in the
you
last
guys,
KVK.
and this is a one-word answer. Do you think it was more 1307? I guess I'll ask the two of you.
Oh,
wait. We missed it. Wait, listen to this part.
Okay. I But can't if you hear rewind anything. a bit, go back to the 1960 KVK or go back to the 1050
We can't hear it.
KVK.
You can't hear it
It's a different
Nah.
story.
Um,
So
on stream or what?
I have yet
Could the stream hear it? Wait, I think the stream could hear it.
to see them recently.
Oh yeah, that's
face
right. I
one
have
of these
muted the
big-ass
stream. Sorry.
kingdoms like a 1365, a 1254, Appo's kingdom, an insanely huge
Yeah, I can hear it.
kingdom with a lot of spenders that can match the field presence that 1307 can bring. Until we see that, I don't know that I'd put them up in the top tier of kingdoms myself. Just being honest here, I got a lot of friends in 1307 also. I respect the hell out of Mad Phantom. I respect the hell out of Thor. You know, they've done a great job with that kingdom, but I think there's a lot of dead weight there and a lot of players there that fight when it's beneficial to them and don't fight when it's not. Just my opinion.
All right, Lambeau.
Oh fuck!
It is your turn, sir.
Well, I seriously, I didn't hear what I said.
You said they have a lot of players. When it's good, they fight in the open field, but when it's not good, they just disappear. So, what do you think, Lambeau, of this KVK so far?
So I guess I hit the nail on the head. I'm not as stupid as everyone says I am. No, I mean this KVK, two things, right? One, let's talk about the good. I mean, I just had an emoji made. You guys will see it all in my live stream starting the next time I stream, and it says 1093 fanboy. Because these guys, they just do everything right. They don't chase kills like Beast was saying. They ball up, they move together, they clear the field, they take down forts, they swarm at the appropriate time, they use the right marches, they use the right commanders. It is clear that this is possibly the best organized kingdom in the game, with a large group of players who buy into the kingdom philosophy of kingdom and alliance first. Screw the personal stats. We don't chase personal stats. We chase objectives. And their objective is to methodically wear you down and take down flag after flag after flag and fort after fort after fort. It has literally, in this zone that they're in, literally been 1093 versus 7 kingdoms. Now, all 7 kingdoms aren't right there fighting, but I've seen 3 separate kingdoms they're fighting, 2 other kingdoms with 307, and 1093 just, brushes it off their shoulder like it's a fly on their shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these I don't know who can beat 1093. I would love to see 1093 365 in a KVK before Lilith implements their proposed changes. But man, I fought them in KVK 2 and they were crazy then, but now I mean, look at all that territory. And it's just methodical.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of these kingdoms can compete with that. And yeah, 307. I love Man Phantom. I love Thor. I have friends in 307, but they need to take a cold hard look. And I know that they are, right? I received a screenshot of a message on their Discord indicating that they're doing a kingdom scan and the names of all dead weights who didn't fight, they're going to take care of. Not only are they going to take care of in their own kingdom, but they're going to make those IDs public so that other people know who
shaming.
all
my
those other
gosh.
people who are dead
That's
weights
ballsy.
were, right?
That's ballsy.
So, mad respect to them for cleaning up. It looks like their intent is to go to that 1 or 2 big alliance, massive fighters type situation, right? So, if we lose 254, if we lose 307 as big Imperium kingdoms, what are we going to see? 365 versus 1093 every KVK.
Like, every single KVK is just going to be them.
So I mean these, I'm thoroughly impressed with 1093, as you can tell. Disappointed a bit in 307. They have the members, they have the power. I just think
You have everything.
1093 has more hardcore players than 307 does. 307's got a lot of casual players. Jump on for an hour, jump on for 2 hours. Fight, my hospitals are filled up. Okay, let me slow heal my hospital, and then I can fight again tomorrow. You know, whereas 1093 just they're impressive.
If I can bring something to up to it, that would also like kind of agreeing then with the point what I said, earlier, that they are from the activity level what we're having right now, compared to the other top 10 kingdoms, in my opinion, they are not top 10 kingdoms. That is not something, I don't want to disrespect them. I have respect to 1307 because you can see that they're fighting, they're giving their best. But like Lambeau said, and I agree on that they having, compared to the other top 10 kingdoms, way too much, I would say, also casual players and people in there who not participating. And for a top 10 kingdom should be not that happen. As a top 10 kingdom, you should be having everyone who's in there should know, okay, I need to give everything what I have in that KVK to participate and to be able to stay also in that kingdom. It's something different between the fighting in the top 10 kingdom or fighting in the low BC kingdom. That's completely two different worlds. I mean, sure, you have also there, you have in every kingdom which having good leadership, you mostly have like a sheet system where the stats getting tracked. But fighting in the top 10 kingdom, in my opinion, it's completely different to fighting in a BC kingdom. And I mean, like Lambeau said, they're having Zen out with mail. And if that's gonna happen now and they bringing in more people who are actually playing, I would love to see them in the future when like fighting on the same on the same size like 1093 or 1365. But right now they are not top 10 kingdom for me. And I have also checked the power from Voice of Kingdom boards with the 100 million power cap, top 300 players. They are right now top 2 with 28.5 billion power. And I mean, for that amount of power, like you top 2 kingdom in the game based by power. Without the cap, they are top 5. I expect something differently, like what I see from 1093, what I see from a 1365, what I see from a 960, what I see from a 2489. I guess you all get my point here.
Yeah, I mean, Redline did a podcast, a month and a half ago, where he went through the kingdoms and ranked them S tier, A tier, B tier.
Yeah,
and
I watched it.
A lot of 307 players had exception to the fact that they weren't ranked as an S tier. I think Redline's community was dead on here, and at this point, seeing what we're seeing, I don't think they'd be S tier.
Yeah, no.
All right.
They definitely not on the same size like 1365, like 1093. No, never.
Alrighty. Well, there you go. Those are the two big KVKs, and I guess moving on to the next topic, Osiris League.
Oh, God.
I guess we could start off with Beast. Like, what are your initial thoughts of this Osiris League? Are you playing, or like what have you seen the realms and all that kind of stuff? We could see all the matchups and all that right now, right? So, what are your thoughts of Osiris League and OL this season? Because I know you're a Osiris guy, so.
Yeah. I mean, like most of my views and subscribers I got early from Osiris League casting. It's shit now that I cannot cast, by the way, Lilith, but okay. From the matches, to be fair, I didn't check today the matchmakings or the groups. But I talked about that yesterday in the stream with my chat, and we're gonna be for sure some amazing fightings, some amazing groups later, in the semifinals and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm very hyped for that, to watch that. It's just shit that we cannot cast it, and giving, like, I always have giving attention to alliances which was having a match which was not that popular. Like I was always streaming I was not streaming the 960, 1365 matches. I was always streaming like these other matches which was having no attention at all. I don't know if you remember, for example, DR34 from season 5 when they was fighting against 61HX. That was an amazing fight, and I guess that's also my top 1 live stream on my channel. And I was love to give these kind of matches attention and watching them, because there are also a lot of matches which are very enjoyable and maybe even more enjoyable than this big ones. But now I cannot do that, and that's just a shit move. And I hope they're gonna change that in the future. Yeah, but I'm hyped for the matches what we're gonna have, but at the same time I cannot really be happy about the Osiris League, because I know I cannot stream and talk about the match what I'm streaming, what I'm casting with my chat. It's like up and down.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Appo? What's this about?
Bro, I am really excited. It's super pumping. I feel positive about the Osiris League. I'm really pumped to be in 2489. I'm part of this team. We have 4 alliances represented in the Osiris League, and let me call it here. I'm gonna say, I know Chesgold team came in the last minute and created the Osiris League team within our continent, but I'm telling you right now, and I'm gonna call it on the cast. I really believe VC going to be the winner of this season.
Damn! Wait, what division are you? What division are you? Could you check?
I'm playing in NR, not in the main team in VC. Just to be clear, so I'm not in VC. I play in NR, and I am in Division 13.
Okay.
And we are, thankfully, I'm so thankful. We are the actual C team, so we have good start. We should be able to get the qualification. But in the realm of bestest, I would say 89 VC will be the winner. For Anubis, I will definitely go with 1960. And for Realm of Horus, it will be, I believe it's 1v, isn't it?
Yeah, 1v's there. Yep.
1v, yeah. Realm of Sobek, I don't know much.
No, yeah, you never know anything about Sobek.
We don't know anything, but yeah, in my division, which is bested, I would say I really wish all the best to the CG team and VC team, and I really believe they're gonna be the finals. In the same time, I hope we don't cross passes, because that would be a killer for us. But hey, may the best win. But I'm really excited. Osiris League brings a lot of excitement. I have actually my first game tomorrow.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
15 UTC will start. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. I really look forward to Osiris League. And the good thing about Osiris League, guys, it's that one part of the game that really the team has to come together. You gotta find people that work together, build a relationship. It's a journey. Osiris League for me is a journey.
Yeah.
And you gotta go with your team. I'm really, really optimistic with my 89 in our team. We are the Northern Riders, and I think we're gonna get ahead in that one.
Yeah, I think your group is gonna be pretty interesting. You have a lot of because you're at 2.9, right? You have 2.24, 2.1. You got a 2.7 in Group B, so
yeah,
it'll definitely be interesting for you guys.
When I looked around, the couple that really made me it's gonna be quite a good one. In Group B, you're right. There is the Kingdom 2800, and also in Group I think it was C. C. There is 2663. They're actually pretty strong. They're nearly matching our power. But guys, we have a rule in our team. We play in 1 billion power. We're playing a team billion power against 1 team billion power. We are taking it serious, and we're gonna bring it. Man, I have some pretty awesome people in my team. Really, very strong Osiris League teams here. For one kingdom to have 4 solid teams.
Yeah,
it's really, really strong.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty.
But again, VC for the win.
VC for the win, and Vasep. Put your coins in VC. All right.
I'm going to put VC the whole way.
Lambeau, what do you think, Mr. OL winner? What are your thoughts?
So we do not play Osiris League in 1029. We have people, we play Osiris when it pops up every 2 weeks, but we don't do League. We just have people that don't want to invest the time that it would take to be successful and don't want to wake up early every Sunday, to be frank. And I get that, 100% get that. Is it something I miss coming from an OV team that won season 3? Absolutely. But at the same time, this season, I am more disinterested in Osiris League this season than any other season I can remember. And that's just because we can't spectate matches. I mean, they ask us to bet on these matches, but we can't spectate them. We can't see which teams have the good strategy, which teams might be the underdog. The Roses in season 3, or I can't remember teams last season that came out of nowhere, right? How everybody's going to bet the favorites. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And they
want
could.
the views, bro. They want the views for their own channel. Simple as that.
But they're not even casting until the top 32. Okay, so and when they do, what are they going to do? Cast 16 matches every single Sunday from each of the 4 realms? I mean, that's 64 matches every Sunday. If they're picking and choosing which matches they stream on the official channel, you're going to have footage to review of some of these teams to see what strategy they're using and plan accordingly. Whereas you're not going to have footage from other teams to plan your strategy against those other teams. So they want to not allow people to spectate for fairness. They better freaking stream all 64 of those matches then every weekend, so you're giving every single team the same opportunity to scout your opponents. Either that or record every single match and make recordings available to all teams to go out and look. When you play an NFL game, those NFL teams have the ability to go back and watch prior games that the team they're competing against played in, so that they can properly scout those teams and develop a strategy to potentially win the game, right? And I get it. That would take a lot of bandwidth. That would take a lot of hard drive space. That would take a lot of resources. But if you truly want to make it an even playing field for these teams, then you need to do something. You can't just stream 1 or 2 matches every weekend on the official channel and say, hey, we're streaming Osiris League, come watch us here, because that's not going to be fair.
Yeah, the opponents in the future could definitely just watch back all that stuff. So that's going to be really interesting for sure.
I mean, the thing is, first of all, we have a fork right now, right? And how, like, they're gonna stream probably with a delay and then with unfork. I don't know. So why do you not giving us also the same opportunity then? Like I said it. I saw in the chat someone asked, how do you want to stream or casting or hosting matches with a fork? I mean, easily what you could do is you could delay the opening of the to be able to watch a match, like, I don't know, let's say 5 minutes. You delay that and you make it open 5 minutes after the match officially started, and then you have no fog there anymore. So that means you, as a spectator, you can view, okay, what are the strategies from both sides? Okay, there's fog. So you see, you clearly see already the difference between the walking. Or what you could also do, you could delete the fog around the margin from both sides. So you see, like, okay, you still see the fog, but you see both sides without the fog. So what, for example, what we have in League of Legends, there's the official channel streaming it, but the fog is on, but both sides, the vision of them, what they would clear in the fog, you can see that, what is happening there. And I don't understand why we don't have the same opportunity, like Lambeau said. I don't think they're gonna stream all 16 or 32 matches or whatever, or also they're not gonna record everything and then upload it. That's not gonna happen. They're just gonna stream, in my opinion, probably just 1 or 2 matches like they did years ago, like the years over, and that's it. And that is completely an hard 100% fucking shit move. If they're gonna do it like this. If they're streaming all matches, okay, I don't have ever said something. If they're not gonna do, and they're gonna stream only 1 or 2 matches, like, how unfair is that to the other teams? That they're probably gonna stream these big matches, like 2489, like 960, like 1365. They're gonna stream like this matches. And all the underdogs, they having like free footage to review these matches and making a strategy against them. Like, how unfair is that? Like, holy shit, you saying you are a company of fairness and all that stuff, but at the same time you're making unfair moves like this, then? Holy shit, hell no. You better
I
don't do it
mean,
like this.
we shouldn't be
Otherwise,
surprised at
I
this
don't know.
point, right?
Can I say
But like,
something?
holy shit! Like, how many moves do we want to make more to lose more and more people? Like,
Listen,
Osiris League is one of the other things, but you know, you have KVKs and Osiris League. That are the two big topics when it comes to competition, when it comes to esport in Rise of Kingdoms. And you're taking away from both sides, like, stuff. First of all, reducing the number of players what they have announced, and then also making unable to casting for all the streamers those House League matches what was able over the years, and then saying, yeah, we're gonna stream only on the official channel, but yet we don't know if they're gonna stream all matches, if they only stream 1 or 2 matches. And I can say, if they're gonna stream only 1 or 2, like, that's gonna be so unfair, because these matches what they're gonna cast, that is free footage to everyone, to all the other alliances. Let's say they're gonna stream JST versus 89VC. Let's say this, you know, and in the quarterfinals, and all the other alliances can watch that stream then and make a plan against them. Like, what the fuck? You know,
can I
it
just say
makes
something? I'm sorry. Can I just say something? Because you gotta look at the other side of the coin here, guys. The only reason they're not making the streams is because of the fog. Think about it. If there is a
Yeah, but-
fog, nobody can see. You can't see. And if they give you the advantage to see, anybody of these people can go become a spectator and be able to see the full map. They can't do that. They can't.
but
It's the whole change is
say your
because of the
point, say your
fog.
point.
You know what I mean? It's all because of the fog. This whole changes is because of the fog. If we have fog, you can't make spectating because even if you made the spectating delayed 5 minutes, it doesn't make sense because they can't delay it. The game itself, mechanics cannot delay the stream. You can delay the stream when you stream yourself. But when the game is live, they can't make you spectate because of the fog. This is the whole idea. This is why they're closing it. It's the fog. They cannot let you see.
You can, like, you can.
The only way is delay.
it.
But
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know
you
if they
can.
can delay.
You can delay it. Like what we have right now, we have already a little delay, I guess, at the beginning. Like, you know, like the match opening, you having the opening timers, I guess 3 minutes, and when you join it's like 1 minute. So you have already, you know, like you join already the match later.
Yeah.
But you are then in lifetime. So why there is an option for sure. They could make it. So they could just say, okay, we're gonna open the matches, but if you join them, you're having a delay. It's gonna be like, it should be possible. But otherwise, then why you making it then with the fog system, and then you can, then you're saying, okay, we cannot. Well, that's shit, because we have introduced the fog system, so we cannot let the casting now, because there's if you're casting that then, and you see both sides, then it could be like, yeah, you could still make strategies against them. I don't know. It's the whole thing is like, huh? Why? I get the point that you want to introduce new stuff into Osiris League, into Ark of Osiris, that you want to make the gameplay different. I completely understand that, and it's also good. I love it, you know. If a developer's bringing new gameplay into stuff what we have right now, but why you bringing something in what kills then a lot of attention for the game? I mean, that just hurt the developers, that just hurt the games, because they're gonna have less views for the game then, and on YouTube.
Right.
And that means also less new players maybe, and that means also less spending. Like, what the hell?
I guess we're kind of in a holding pattern until we see exactly how Lilith is going to implement this in the top 32. You know,
Exactly, sir.
I'm just very cautious as to what they have told us because they haven't given us the whole picture, right? You know, they haven't given us details. We don't know what's going to happen, but at the same time, I'm very concerned because I love Osiris League. I absolutely love it. I don't play it, but I love watching it. You know, I love seeing those top tier teams battle it out against each other. You know, the sneaky tactics that TR used in one of their matches 2 seasons ago, completely unexpected, took the other team by surprise. Yeah, they didn't win the match, but it was a hell of a fun match to watch because nobody uses sneaky tactics. So, you know, seeing things like that and seeing these top teams battle it out against each other, yeah, it's probably not going to change the outcome. It's probably still going to be 1v and 60 GT and I'll trust Apo 89 VC, you know, in those 3 realms, you know, but at the same time, you know, there are dark horses that come out of nowhere. I mean, look at Rose in season 3, look at OV even in season 1. You know, nobody expected them to beat White Tigers or beat some of the bigger, more powerhouse teams out there. So, you know, anything can happen, and if there is a major upset in this season and nobody can watch it and nobody can see it and nobody can watch replays of it, I think you're going to see a huge outcry from the community, or at least the community that is invested and enjoys watching Osiris League matches.
Fair.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's got all
Well,
type of
we
problems.
will have to see. Okay, so yeah.
I mean, okay, one last point, and then I'm gonna stop. I mean, for example, is JST, or a 60GT. They investing thousands of dollars, you know, every day, and being having everything max, having their 30 players, 40 players, for playing also Osiris League and winning then the last rewards because there's the city skin, other stuff, what you want to win, right? And then the official channel streaming their match, but no one else. So everyone else can watch the stream and make a strategy against this alliance, but you cannot make a strategy against other alliances because there's no footage of them.
Yeah, that's what Lambeau said earlier.
What do you think? It's like, you know, like it just makes me crazy. Like if I think about that, it just makes me crazy. I don't know what to say to that. Like I don't like for real.
Yeah, well,
what are the?
Yeah, we won't know until it happens, and I don't want to go around in circles around OL because we've already went over this. I want to, I guess, open it up to the stream chat as to questions about any of the topics that we had, because we are running out of time. If that's okay. So
yeah, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Inter Milan game will start in 5 minutes.
There you go. So we have 5 minutes. We'll give you guys 5 minutes to ask any questions before we head off. So server merges are future. You think server merges and like kingdom merges are gonna be a thing in Rise of Kingdoms? That'd be, I don't know how they'd implement that. That'd be insane stuff. If
just
they
from a logistical standpoint, I can't see how they would do it. I mean, who would be king? What would territory look like?
It'd be like a KVK except permanent.
Like what is it? Is it a 1v1 KVK and then okay, you guys lost, so you gotta come into this kingdom? Well, there's gonna be bad blood there already.
It'd be pretty wild, huh?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever have kingdom merges like that. Maybe like it'll be, I don't know. I don't know how they would do it.
Once they get this Imperium thing figured out, they'll probably change some rules to make C&D kingdoms less appealing to people.
Maybe. Do you guys have anything to add? Like any final notes or anything that you want to, I guess.
Yep. 1093 rocks.
I just want to say something, guys. I just want to remind everybody, you know, guys, we don't sit down here to have a rant or anything just to clear this up. It just, you know, guys, we also part of the community, and some of us has strong opinion about things. Some of us, you know, agree. Some of us disagree. just remember. Oh fuck! Hang on for a second. Who is supporting Apple? You say City? No, I'm not supporting the City. I'm supporting Inter Milan. Don't unsub of my sub. Please don't sub. Please don't unsub.
Please don't
unsub.
stop.
No, I'm definitely
Uh,
supporting Inter Milan today. Manchester City won enough. But now, guys, just want to let you know, yeah, nobody's perfect. Nobody gets it right. But always, at the end of the day, we just come here to discuss different opinion, different ideas from different aspects from the community opinion. So
yeah.
nothing personal. All love and respect.
Yeah, I mean, we have opinions because we care.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
We sit down
and
here exactly because we do care. We do care a lot about the game actually and the community.
whenever possible, at least whenever possible, I try and offer solutions to any problems that I see within the game. And if we didn't care, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be streaming. We wouldn't be giving a shit. So
Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm sorry if I like said topics multiple times or if I was like too much emotions, but like
Yeah, I
like
mean,
Rava said,
your
like,
channel was built off of OL, right? Or like most popular content, so it makes
Yeah,
sense.
to hear
Basically,
that today,
yeah,
it really made me
yeah.
sad to hear that. Piece. Like you actually, all your growth came from there, and for you not to get an
Yeah.
opportunity to take part in that, I do feel your frustration, brother.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll
yeah,
have
that's-
like the games available, and then maybe you could just cast like over it or something. We'll have to see what happens for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, every channel have a niche, right? So my
Exactly.
niche was at the beginning, or was the last season of Osiris League, but I have streamed as much as possible from Osiris League, and then the matches which are not getting most attention, and based on that, my channel have basically started growing, and people have know me. I mean, Ploto, you for example haven't known me since the KVK of 38 versus 1365.
Yeah.
And that says already something. And a lot of people still not know me. And last time when I Wade Chisco, for example, he saw my name for the first time. So a lot of people don't know me yet still. And my niche is or was casting with Osiris League matches. That's where my community was coming from. And losing something like this then just makes me very emotional, and I'm
sure.
like, why?
Yeah.
I just wanna
wait. I'm gonna just
quickly
ask.
before we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Scorpio what your question is, and then we could end the stream. What are we saying, Apple?
Just before the win was Dylan was saying, Apocalypse, tell us about Skippy Harold. Guys, I just want to tell you something quickly. It's off topic, but something I just did in my open field and did do me a bit of a favor. I don't use Pascal Harold anymore, and it's been stressful, a bit, depressing for me because I spend too much golden heats and I can't use them with Pascal Harold because it's a disgusting marsh, as we all know. Someone recommended to me to run Scipio Harold, and I actually had very good results with him. So just a tip for you: give him a go, give him a try. Scipio Harold, it really did me good for the infantry gang.
There you go. So
Yeah.
Scorpion, do you have your question or?
Someone said, yeah, in Frenzo, Infranox. Ploto, can I ask you?
Scorpion. Can you spectate if you're in the alliance? Wait, you guys can't, right? There's no spectating if you're in the alliance.
correct.
I'm just wondering, where is still the notification bell on the Osiris League matches?
You just get notified that they're happening and you can't watch them. That'd be. We'll have to see. Tomorrow, our answers are gonna be our questions are gonna be answered, right? So it'll be interesting to see. What is my division in OL? My division in Osiris League. I guess I am playing for SV. Our Osiris League team is actually pretty interesting because we got.
Where are you?
I'm in Anubis, so the 60 GT realm. But I'm in Division 31. But we just had a practice before the stream. Just because we got a lot of new players in. We got a group from 1254. And then they were also part of the TR Osiris League team, so it'll be pretty interesting to see.
And let's be 100% real, right? These qualifiers, these group stages are generally garbage.
Mm-hmm.
10, a whopping 10 out of all the matches in the qualifiers of Realm of Horus last season, 10 of them were won by 10,000 points or less.
Wow.
So
only 10.
Only 10. So most of these, at least in the older realms, are absolute blowouts. And half of these teams are just signed up so that they can get rewards every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was only one upset in the groups where the what do they call this? What's this little icon here? Where the realm seed in the top 32 lost.
Yeah.
You know, so in my opinion, they need to kind of scale it back because honestly, nobody enjoys watching a lot of these qualifying matches when it's 80,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, maybe lower the amount of teams or something. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, appreciate everyone for coming onto the stream. Do you guys want to plug anything? Do you guys want to, like subscribe to Lambeau, Beast, Oppo for sure? Where is the next podcast gonna be? Who's the next host?
2 weeks from today.
So we'll be looking at the 25th.
The 25th. Oh, I'm busy on the 25th actually, so it'll be a U3 adventure.
Yeah.
Let me go.
We'll figure out who's hosting it.
Next stream will be at on my channel, I think.
Alrighty.
I think it's yours as well. Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring some boom boom.
We'll bring some boom boom to Appo's channel. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but these three will be able to give a guess. Yeah, I'm gonna Greece actually on the 23rd, so I'll be gone. Yeah.
Listen to you.
I'm gonna Greece, so.
Oh, the loving birds going to Greece.
Should be fun. Anyways, appreciate you guys. We're gonna be rating.
Love you, team. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna be rating 12-inch, and I will catch you guys later.